Welcome to GaiaNet, your world, your rules. All right, guys, so you've got your GaiaNet node up and running. That's awesome. But here's the thing. You can take it even further. GaiaNet is all about customization. It's like getting a brand new phone and tweaking every setting to make it yours. Think of it like this. Straight out of the box, GaiaNet comes with some default settings. These work great for most people. But maybe you want something different. Maybe you want to use a different language model, or you have a specific knowledge base in mind. This is where customization comes in. You can fine-tune almost every aspect of your node. That means you can make it work exactly the way you want it to. No compromises, and trust me, the possibilities are endless. You can tweak the language model, the knowledge base, even the way your node interacts with you. It's all about making GaiaNet your own. Let's dive into how you can customize your GaiaNet node. Cracking open the configuration config.json. First up, let's talk about the configuration file. This is like the control center for your GaiaNet node. It's called config.json, and it's where all the important settings live. Don't let the .json part scare you. It's just a simple text file. You can open it with any text editor. Inside, you'll find a bunch of settings and their values. Each setting controls a specific aspect of your node. Think of it like this. You want to change the volume on your headphones. You use the volume button. You want to switch the language on your phone. You go into the settings menu. This config.json file is the same idea for your GaiaNet node. Now, you don't need to be a coding wizard to make changes here. It's surprisingly straightforward. In the next section, we'll go through some examples of how to modify this file and customize your node. Time to get our hands dirty. First steps, launching your GaiaNet node. Before we start tweaking settings, let's talk about getting your node up and running. This is actually way easier than you might think. GaiaNet uses a simple command line interface. This might sound intimidating, but it's just a fancy way of saying you type in commands to tell it what to do. First things first, make sure you have GaiaNet installed. Once that's done, open up your terminal or command prompt. Now, to launch your node, all you have to do is type in a simple command, GaiaNet start. That's it. Hit enter, and your node will spring to life. Pretty cool, right? You've just launched your very own GaiaNet node. Now it's time to get into the nitty-gritty of customizing it to your liking. Let's move on to the config subcommand, which will give you even more control over your node. Mastering the config subcommand. Okay, so you've launched your node. Now, let's say you want to change something specific, like the language model it's using. This is where the config subcommand comes in. It's like having a direct line to all the settings we talked about earlier. To use it, simply type GaiaNet config, followed by the setting you want to change and its new value. For example, let's say you want to switch to a different language model. You type GaiaNet config language _model new _model _name. See? Easy peasy. This subcommand is your best friend when it comes to customization. You can use it to change all sorts of things, from the port your node listens on to the maximum response length. We'll get into more details and examples later on. But first, let's talk about one of the most exciting aspects of customization, choosing your LLM.